Deep Silver uploaded another piece of Saints Row reboot marketing in the form of the Welcome to Santo Ileso trailer. And call me crazy, but I'm seeing a lot less anger after this video. Let's take a look at the like to dislike ratio quickly. Oh man, well... okay, maybe the anger is still there. I guess I spoke too soon. Anyway, what does this new 7-minute trailer give us in terms of anything new or interesting? Well... not a whole lot, actually, which is hilarious considering, like I said, the video is 7 goddamn minutes long. It's mainly footage of Bryce Charles, who is, I'm assuming, one of the female voices for the boss, standing around in the middle of a desert talking about the game and what direction Volition is going in this time with the reboot. The parts that are sort of worth giving a shit about, however, are the tiny snippets of pre-alpha gameplay we get a glimpse of every now and then. Or should I say specifically, pre-alpha gameplay footage representative of a product still in development. La-dee-da, such fancy wording there everyone, round of applause. Anyway, as mentioned, we get some shots of Santo Ileso, the new location where the game will be set. It's inspired by the American Southwest, blah 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 blah, we hear the same shit over and over again. As for the gameplay, the very, very brief gameplay shots, they kind of remind me of Saints Row the 3rd. Some of the physics and gunplay give off that Saints Row vibe of not overly realistic, which I'm fine with. I'd hate for the series to suddenly completely shift to feeling too real, you know, it'd be like jumping from San Andreas to GTA 4 all over again. Further on in the video, Volition gets a turn to speak. They talk about how they really needed some fresh air, so to speak, with the Saints Row franchise, and how they'd backed themselves into a corner post Saints Row 4. Ultimately, they decided, hey, it's time for a reboot, and here we are now. It seems like the reason they went with the southwestern setting this time around is because they really, really do want this game to feel vastly different from the titles that preceded it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Santo Ileso looks amazing from what we can see in this video, but as we've all learned through recent history, looks don't mean shit for a game's enjoyment and playability factor. And for anybody worrying that Saints Row would lose its weirder and more over-the-top aspects, that doesn't seem to be the case, as they mention emphasizing the strangeness of the series in this video, really embracing it whilst maintaining this contemporary feel. We get some new shots of the fellow Saints you'll be working with and the boss. This section of the video is basically a summary of stuff we already know. Almost 3 minutes into this Welcome to Santo Ileso trailer, and we've learned and seen nothing amazingly of note yet. By the way, if you want more info on the individual Saints members, I talked a bit about them in my previous Saints Row reboot video, in case you're interested. There is a point in this section of the video where somebody states that he has no idea why Kevin is shirtless. Fantastic, thanks for the hot new info there. He also wants to be a TV chef. I think that's what the guy says. I could have misheard, but I don't think I did. We move on to the gangs next. First up is Marshall, who are an international company. Their headquarters are situated in Santo Ileso. They are described as, quote, strategic assassins, end quote. And they're packing some space-age weaponry. Look at those green lasers. Wow! It seems that the members of Marshall will favor attacks of a more confining nature as opposed to the outright destructive, in the sense that they'll try and neutralize you in a less overt way. At least I think so, who knows. Right now we know nothing really. We're sitting here like idiot school kids getting a lecture from old man Mr. Volition about what this game is totally gonna be like. Who knows how accurate half this shit will be come release. Anyway, Los Panteros are next. These guys are obsessed with power, muscle, strength, all that good shit. There's something really weird about this shot here, where we see the boss beating up a member of the gang. I mean, look at the contrast here. Wow, that certainly instills me with confidence, but hey, we'll be able to customize our character however we want. I'm assuming we'll be able to max out the muscle slider and look comically buff to negate any insecurities we may have. Los Panteros members prefer rushing in and trying to overpower you with melee attacks. They kind of remind me of the animals from Cyberpunk 2077, just slightly less roided up. Lastly, we get the Idols. Initially, I was thinking this would be the worst gang in the game, with how some people and journalists were describing them, but I'm actually starting to warm up to them because, let's face it, they sure as shit look the most interesting out of the 3 Santo Ileso gangs. Compared to Marshall and Panteros, these guys stick out like crazy. Described as, quote, a cult personality, end quote, the idols seem to have a massive following, almost cult-like. And they will apparently use these vast numbers of followers to their advantage when fighting you. As I said, keep in mind this is just a trailer and this is just marketing. The proof is in the pudding. Let's see how much of this is accurate, and I hope all of it is. The last section of the video, once again, nothing amazing going on here. We get a mention of how fantastic the character customization is and what looks like a shot of a clothing store. This is followed by shots of what I'm guessing are some of the various buildings and properties you'll be able to either build or take over or buy. Some of them look really nice. You know, while the characters seem kind of bland from what we've seen so far, Santo Ileso looks pretty damn good, and even interesting. Some of the last shots in this trailer seem to be some of the side activities you can do, but it's impossible to be 100% sure. Also, there is no visible HUD or UI in any of the gameplay clips, from what I can tell. And that's all. That's all I think is worth talking about in this new trailer. Honestly, this video did kind of make me reel back some of my justified disappointment. Hell, at least I felt a bit of excitement or interest while watching this. That's something the announced trailer absolutely failed to elicit, as it fell on its ass while everybody pointed and laughed. I would say that after watching this trailer, I'm at least somewhat interested in this game now. Feel free to let me know how you felt after this Welcome to Santo Ileso trailer. Did you love it? Did you absolutely despise every frame of it? Whatever the case may be, I love hearing everyone's thoughts. And until next time, I'm gonna go have a reality climax.